So you've been in these sorts of meetings, or at least something that looks a little bit like them. Take us into that room today when President Trump meets with Jean-Claude Juncker. What does President Trump want? What does Jean-Claude Juncker want?
Well, President Trump says he was focused on bilateral deficits, and he's put tariffs on some key sectors. I think President Juncker wants to keep markets open, and I hope they create some kind of a format for moving forward to open markets, because you don't win by closing markets. In fact, we've already suffered from the uncertainty.
So, Madam Ambassador, the President has actually opened the door to that, saying even we should eliminate all tariffs. I think most people think that's not quite realistic. Is there a realistic prospect that we could actually come up with lower tariffs? And by the way, can the EU do that just with the United States without including other countries on multilateral deals?
No, the World Trade Organization requires you to give national treatment, non-discrimination in the global trade, unless you have a free trade agreement, and that covers a lot of issues. I had hoped that we would have stayed in the Trans-Pacific Partnership, created a template for moving forward trade with our other trading partners, but we didn't. But we can't do selective, I'm going to eliminate tariffs for one country, but keep them up for another.
So what does that mean realistically we could hope for? The best case coming out of this? I mean, as a practical matter, Germany exports a lot of cars to the United States. France does not. So the EU within its own realm has some conflicts.
And we would suffer from the tariffs. There isn't a single U.S. car manufacturer that doesn't need imported parts to make a competitive product. Not a single one. So you put tariffs on, you raise the price, our product becomes less competitive. My hope for this meeting is that they sit down and quietly work forward on how do we open up trade between Europe and the United States. And it would be wonderful if the president would smile and stop talking about auto tariffs, but start talking about market opening.
So we talk about auto tariffs, but as a practical matter, there is a process you have to go through that you know so well, Ambassador Hills, down in Washington. What's the timeline from the United States point of view? Assume that they don't come to an agreement today. What's the timeline on when auto tariffs might actually be imposed?
That depends really on the president. Read his last tweet. I cannot tell you. But I can tell you, for example, on steel and aluminum tariffs, that we have lost 16 times more jobs outside of steel and aluminum than we gained in steel aluminum. So tariffs are not a good device to enhance your economy. They're a terrible device. So let's open up the market, create opportunities for our auto companies, our soybean sellers. Already, soybeans has taken a hit for the next year, estimated at above $3 billion.
Madam Ambassador, thank you so very much for spending some time with us today. That's Ambassador Carla Hills joining us from Washington.